Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a real beast of a book, one of philosophy's most challenging but also most poetic works, Friedrich Nietzsche's Thus Spake Zarathustra.
Right from the get-go, Nietzsche just throws this incredible and, honestly, kind of terrifying image at us. He's saying, look, humanity, we're not some finished thing. No, we're a rope. A tightrope, really, stretched over this massive, dark abyss. On one side is where we came from, our animal nature. And on the other, well, that's the destination, the Superman. This whole idea, this dangerous journey, that's where we're going to start.
So the story kicks off with our main character, the prophet Zarathustra, and his downgoing. He's been up in the mountains for 10 years, just soaking it all in, becoming wise. And now he feels this incredible pull, this need to go back down and share what he's learned with everyone.
You know, this isn't about him wanting to be a leader or get a bunch of followers. It's more like he's overflowing. He's so full of wisdom that it's become a burden. Just like a bee that's collected too much honey, he has to give it away, or he'll burst. It's this powerful urge to share, to just pour it all out.
Okay, so he comes down from the mountain, ready to share this incredible wisdom, and what does he find? He's absolutely horrified. The world he returns to is one where, as he famously puts it, God is dead. The old anchors, the old values, they're gone. But instead of finding people using that freedom to strive for something new, something great, he finds the exact opposite.
He finds what he calls the last man. And listen, these aren't bad people. In a way, they're worse. They're just comfortable. Pathetically comfortable. All they want is to be warm, to have the little daily pleasures, a long life with zero risk. You throw any big, challenging idea at them and they just blink. Like, what? Why would anyone want more than this? It's a vision of humanity at its most pitiful.
So here's the choice Zarathustra lays out. It's the two ends of that rope we talked about. On one end, you've got this last man, asking, what is a star? And just blinking, totally clueless. And on the other end, you have the goal, the Superman, or in German, the Übermensch. This isn't some comic book hero. This is the person who becomes the meaning of the earth, the one who embraces every part of life and creates their own values.
Okay, so that's the goal. But how do you get there? How do you actually overcome that comfortable, blinking last man that's inside all of us and start moving toward the Superman? Well, Zarathustra gives us a roadmap. He calls it the three metamorphoses.
It's a journey for the spirit, and it happens in three key stages. First, your spirit has to be a camel. Then, it has to become a lion. And finally, a child. Now, these aren't literal, of course. Each one is a symbol for a massive psychological change.
Let's break that down. First, the camel. Think of the camel as the dutiful spirit. It kneels down and says, load me up. It takes on all the heaviest weights, tradition, duty, all the thou shalts of society. It endures. But that's not the end. To grow, the spirit has to go out into the desert of its loneliness and become a lion. The lion's job is to fight the great dragon named Thou Shalt. Its roar is a sacred no to old values and a powerful I will to its own freedom. But even that's not enough. After winning freedom from things, the lion has to become a child. Why a child? Because a child is innocence, a new beginning. A child can create new things, new values, and say a holy yes to life without all the baggage. It's a journey from enduring to destroying to creating.
All right, so what's driving all this? This whole struggle to become a camel, a lion, a child. It's all fueled by what is probably Nietzsche's most famous and definitely most misunderstood idea, the will to power. Now, I know what you might be thinking, because this phrase will to power has been twisted into something ugly, something about domination and tyranny, but we got to get that out of our heads. For Nietzsche, that's not it at all. The will to power is the basic, fundamental drive in everything that lives. It's not just the will to survive, it's the will to thrive, to grow, to overcome challenges, to express its own unique strength and shape the world around it. He's making a really key distinction here. He's saying, look, things don't just want to stay alive, they want to be more. Think about it. An artist doesn't just paint to stay alive. They paint to express something, to master their craft.
A tiny seed doesn't just want to not die. It pushes through the dirt to become a huge tree. That's the will to power. It's that creative, striving impulse. And for him, this is the basis of morality. What is good? Anything that comes from this feeling of strength and growth. What is bad? Anything that comes from weakness.
Okay, so this drive, this will to power, it all leads to the absolute peak of Zarathustra's philosophy. It's the final exam, you could say. The ultimate test of how much you truly love your life. And he calls it his most abysmal thought, his deepest, most terrifying idea, the eternal return.
He frames it as a thought experiment. Imagine a demon sneaks into your loneliest loneliness and says to you, "This life, as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more. Every single pain, every single joy, every thought, every sigh, everything exactly the same over and over and over again forever."
Whoa. So what's your gut reaction? Would you throw yourself on the ground, gnash your teeth, and curse that demon? Or would you look at it and say, "You are a god, and never have I heard anything more divine"? Your answer to that question, Nietzsche says, is the ultimate judgment on your own life. If the thought horrifies you, it means you're not living a life you truly affirm.
But if you can welcome it, if you can greet that idea of eternal repetition with joy, well, that is it. That's the highest possible affirmation of life. That's the mindset of the creator, of the Übermensch. The whole point is to live your life with so much passion, so much meaning, so much love for your own fate, amor fati, he called it, that you would scream yes one more time to every single second of it.
And here's the kicker. After all this teaching, Zarathustra doesn't hand down a new set of commandments. He's not creating a new religion to replace the old one. In fact, he does the opposite. He tells his friends, his followers, to go away. He tells them to be wary of him, to find their own way, to not just become little copies of Zarathustra. He challenges them to become themselves.
And so, in the end, Zarathustra leaves us with this. It's not an answer, but a question that just hangs in the air. A challenge for every single one of us. He says, "This is my way. Where is yours?" Because as he says, the way, well, it just doesn't exist. He's calling on us to stop looking for a pre-made path and to start becoming the creators of our own meaning, our own journey to whatever greatness we can imagine.